All right, let's get it going. Little fast puppy. 20 seconds per pick. $5 entry. Pretty simple stuff here. Let's get right into it. Brandon Aiyuk trade today. Brandon Aiyuk. Where do we think he's going? My options, I made a video today. My options are, obviously, everyone thinks he's going to the Commanders. I'm not so high on that just because I don't want to see him go down the Terry McLaurin route of like kind of ruining your career a little bit, just being a great receiver in a bad situation. I like the Patriots a lot. I like the Chargers. I like the Packers. I'm not a big fan of the Steelers just because I'm not sure how fond I am of Russ or Fields. But it's okay, I guess, but better-ish than the Commanders, but still not the best situation. Seems like the two most favorite situations are the ones that I don't love. What's up, man? How's it going? All right, let's get into it. We're the 104. I take Chase after Jefferson, usually. I'm a big Jefferson guy, obviously, in the videos you guys see. My order goes Hill, CMC, Lamb, then Jefferson. No, sorry, Jefferson, then Lamb. And then it's kind of up for debate. But I'll go Chase at 5. Normally, excited to get Jefferson here. Pack all day. Yes, sir, baby. Of course. Big Packers fan over here. Not as big as I used to be because fantasy football has kind of warped my mind, but is what it is. Who else can Brandon Aiyuk go to, guys? Dallas doesn't have the cap. Obviously, Dallas would love to have him. They just don't have the money for that. The Cardinals I really like because Kyler Murray, they could do like a little bit of a Bengals thing where they just, when they drafted Jamar Chase, like go over the top with wide receiver, which they should do. Like that would be huge for Kyler. I think that'd be amazing. And they could be like a top 5 offense pretty quick if they're able to get that type of firepower. Okay, CMC goes 1, Lamb goes 2. Hopefully we get Tyreek. If not, I'll go Jefferson. I have a lot of Tyreek. Okay, there he goes. I'm going Jefferson here. Easy pick for me. I normally, in these types of situations, in underdog draft specifically, I really like to get wide receivers early just because they're so scarce. Like, if you guys look at the ADPs, like, I'll scroll down right here. Like, you'll see how many Olave, Collins, Aiyuk, Adams, Waddle, Debo, Evans, all these guys. Like, if you projected Malik Neighbors or DK Metcalf straight up versus Kyron or Derrick Henry, like I've done in my videos, they project way worse. But in these types of underdog drafts, wide receivers are so important to have just because they have so much week-to-week upside that you pretty much have to get one. So I don't even like I hate the teams when I draft Bijan, Brees, and CMC with my first pick just because I fall so quickly behind a wide receiver. Typically in these kinds of rooms, if you're really stacked at running back, you'll end your team with about like 5 to 6 running backs. I'd say 5 if you're really stacked. 6 if you have like a middle of the road running back room. You basically the way best ball works, if anyone's new here, you have 18 draft spots, but week to week it only starts the best player at the position. So it's one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, and a flex. So if you have Lamar Jackson and you have Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones scores 35 points, he's going to be put in the lineup over Jackson if Jackson scores like 28. It'll automatically pick the best player. So that's why wide receivers, just with the insane upside they have, plus the fact that you're starting 3 of them with a flex instead of 2 running backs, it's just like they're so heavy. I'm getting Cooper Kupp 101. Let's go, Lance. Why are the Niners a bad fit for Debo? Too many mouths to feed? It's not only that they're a bad fit, it's just like he's not going to get, too many mouths to feed in terms of his targets. Like, he was the most efficient, best receiver in the league last year. Like, ESPN had him graded as the number 1 wide receiver last year. Obviously, he's not the number 1 wide receiver in reality, but for his routes and how he played, he was great. And he averaged like 18 yards per catch, similar to Waddle's season 2 years ago. It really helps when you have the Tyreek Hill on the other side of you, or in this case, CMC, Debo, and Kittle, to really just open things up. So basically, the way I see it in fantasy at least, Aiyuk really will never have like 18 point per game upside unless something happened to Debo, or unless he goes to a good situation, like if he goes to the Patriots or the Chargers or some team that they'll really just, force feed him 10 targets a game. Because he only had 105 targets last year. That's just not going to be good enough, PPR league for Kupp. I obviously love Kupp, guys. Like, Kupp has been one of my most drafted players this year. I just think he's mispriced. He's going right now at pick 28. He's rising. I was in on him in like pick 36 range. Now he's moved up a lot. Pick 28, I still prefer him over Metcalf, Neighbors, Smith, Evans, Waddle. I prefer Adams, though. Oh, there goes Adams. Crap. Okay, so we're looking at JT. I don't mind JT here. Adams is the normal guy that I pair up with Jefferson if I can, but it's good that I have to do some variation here. My two top options are going to be Jonathan Taylor and Waddle. Saquon is falling a bit, so I wouldn't mind Saquon, but as I just explained to you guys, it is tough grabbing a running back this early, but I don't mind it if you do have in the first round like a top end wide receiver. It's a little tougher when you get Brees Hall and then your wide receiver one is like Drake London. I never take Drake London. Okay, good. So either way, we're getting JT or Waddle here because Nico Collins goes. Marvin Harrison went pretty late there at pick 17. Achane. Okay, so this is. I have like no Waddle exposure and I want to be in on Waddle. Man, but pick 21 for JT. This is oh man. I'm gonna go JT just because it's a little more unique to have JT and Justin Jefferson on a team than it is for Jefferson and Waddle, just because ADP wise, Jonathan is like 3 picks higher than Waddle. So this is basically a big tournament where first place is worth 200K. I entered the $5 puppy on Underdog, if anyone's wondering. Where if you do finish first, or like there's a bunch of different prize structures, but first place 200K, and you want to differentiate your team. So a lot of people who are drafting Jefferson and end up with the same like wide receiver group or running back group. So I think it's a little bit more unique to have Taylor, especially when most of draft season his ADP was like 13 or 14. Thoughts on Seattle without Pete Carroll? Much improved. Well, Kenneth Walker is going to struggle a little bit because he's never shown pass catching upside, and this Ryan Grubb offense will be extremely pass heavy, very spread out offense. Zach Charbonnet has shown in college and in the NFL that he's a better pass catcher. Oh, let's go. Let's go. You guys already know who we're taking here. I love Kyron, love Derek. That's all great. But for the wide receiver drop off in my eyes, from Cooper to DJ Moore to Stephon to all these guys, like Cooper Kupp is the pick by far here. I love this start for us. JT, Jefferson, Kupp. Let's take a look at some of these other teams right here. To finish my little spiel about the Seattle Seahawks, I like Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN this year a lot more than I did last year, just because they should be running a lot more pass plays. I love Geno. Geno's a really good late round quarterback if you want, just because this offense is going to be that pass heavy. Washington ran a really spread out offense last year in college football, and Ryan Grubb should bring that to the NFL. But as I was saying before, Kenneth Walker's never shown proficiency in the pass game, ever. So it's a little scary to see how many snaps we think he'll get. What do you guys think about the Aiyuk trade? What situations do you think we'll get? Where did he go in this draft? He went, wait a minute. So he went with the Debo drafter. The Debo drafter picked Debo at pick 12. What the heck? And Aiyuk at 13? What is he doing? Well, this is unique, I guess, but people can get Debo and Aiyuk in the second and third round, so he pretty much just wasted a first-round pick there, because Debo's ADP is like 22, and Aiyuk's is like 19. Anyways, that's a unique start. I like this team, CMC. This is how you got to do it. If you're drafting CMC, you got to have 2 more wide receivers afterwards, and I'm fine with Evans and DK. CD, Barkley, Smith, I like that. I like triple wide receiver here. He's going to go for the Miami stack, it looks like. He'll try to get Tua. Obviously, my team I love. Jamar, Devon. I like this team too. I'm not the biggest Stephon Diggs guy this year. I'm okay with it, but I prefer Tank Dell at price. Tank Dell's going like pick 40-ish. Prefer that. There goes Tank Dell as we're talking about him. Amon-Ra, Nico Moore. I'm not a big fan. It feels a little weak. Like the wide receiver, I like Amon-Ra, but he doesn't have the top potential of the top 4 guys. And then Nico and DJ, I'm just not a huge fan of. Sam Laporta, I hate as a pick. This team is awful. I'm sorry. This team is terrible. Like, he's really reaching on just about every pick. So, yeah, I don't like that. I think Laporta's going too high. I think Kelsey's a better pick than Laporta at price. I think Andrew's going at pick 50. I'd prefer that. Here's the ADP of the tight ends right now. Kelsey at pick 39, McBride at 47, Andrews 49, Kincaid 51, George at 66. I love. So pretty much all those picks I prefer at cost to Laporta. I'm just not a Laporta guy. In terms of getting a quarterback here, so we have our quarterbacks are going to be late rounds. It's tough to get a Minnesota quarterback because we don't know who's going to start for most of the year. Stafford, I do like in this. He goes at pick 150-ish. Yeah, 151. That's pretty easy. So we want to stack in best ball, especially. Obviously, in redraft, you want to stack too, but in best ball, you really want to stack. So I'm eyeing that up. I would love to get Kelsey Mahomes here. If we could get Kelsey Mahomes here, that'd be beautiful. I doubt it. If we don't get that, I don't mind Lamar and Mark Andrews if we can get that. But that means our wide receivers will be like we'll be looking at that point, guys, like for a wide receiver 3, it'll be like Hopkins, Addison, McConkey, Watson, some of those guys, the lesser tier. But I don't know how much worse. Like D-Hop, I prefer straight up over like some of these guys. Like over Terry, I prefer him over Kirk. They're about tied. Cooper, you could make an argument for, but I think they're in the same range at least. Are you a fan of drafting Garrett Wilson this year? Oh yeah, Garrett Wilson is. I just made my first round video actually like 3 days ago, and I think I had him at pick 7 or 6. It's one of the, I think 6. I love him. I have him over Amon Ra. I have him over Puka. I have him over AJ Brown. He's right behind Brees for me. I have him over Bijan Robinson. He's projected at 20 points per game for me. Let me make this pick real quick, and I'll talk more about him. Okay, if we can get Kelsey, this would be huge. So we have Kelsey, we have Andrews, we have Lamar, and we have Mahomes here. I want one of those stacks. This guy just took Kelsey. Oh man. I'm gonna go Andrews here. I'm gonna go Andrews here just because I much prefer Mahomes to Lamar straight up. So if I draft Lamar first and then Andrews goes, I'm gonna be really pissed because I would have just drafted Mahomes. So what I'm doing is I'm taking Andrews first because I'm fine if Lamar goes. Like if I just have Andrews, it's okay if I don't have Lamar. Like that's fine with me. I'll get somebody later and I'll be okay. But if I were to draft Lamar first and I don't get Andrews, then I'm kind of like, why did I not just take Mahomes, you know? Okay, so Mahomes and Hollywood goes. This guy stacks up. Here, I'll go to the screen here. This guy stacks up Mahomes and Hollywood Brown. That's smart. I don't mind that at all. He's got 3 wide receivers through 5 rounds. That's good enough for me. Jaden Reed goes, okay, hold up. We have a chance here. We have a chance here. Please give me Lamar Jackson. I would love it. When's the next video? I'm actually going to go to Spain for like 2 weeks, and I was going to produce videos through that time. I'm going to try to do it on my own. I have an editor usually like editing my videos for me. Okay, let's go, baby. Let's go. Lamar Jackson, join the squad. Wow, this team is so sexy. Lamar, Andrew Stack, 2 great wide receiver ones in my eyes, and then JT, I love it. So my editors, it's a little tough with him. I'm probably going to have to edit a couple of videos myself over these next like couple weeks. It's either that or I just wait until like August until I get back. So it's kind of tough, I know. But the shorts will keep coming. I'm going to post YouTube shorts, TikToks obviously, and Instagram. That's my main stuff anyways, not the long form stuff. I've just gotten into long form posting. This is actually my first live stream on YouTube. So thanks for the bunch of you guys that are in here. Keep asking questions, keep me occupied, please, so I keep doing this. But back to Garrett Wilson. He's top 6 pick for me. I think with Aaron Rodgers, as long as Devontae Adams doesn't join the team, because if he does, then Garrett's the wide receiver 2. But if Garrett's the wide receiver 1 for the whole year, he's going to be used just like Devontae in the red zone. We saw it in that one preseason game last year. The goal line fades are going to be crazy with him. His route running in the small areas of the field is great. They'll do a lot of like checks at the line of scrimmage where they just give him easy screens when the defenders are too far off. That was another thing we saw in the limited preseason time he had with Rodgers. It's going to be such a different offense. I don't think people understand how bad the Jets offense was last year. It was like beyond worst in the league. They had 3 goal line attempts in the entire season, 3 goal line opportunities. Brees got 1 of them. Like there's teams like the Dolphins where Mostert had 16 of them by himself, right? Gus Edwards had, I believe, 19 of them. It's insane. So I really think the Jets take the step up. They can push for like 15 to 20, honestly. And Rodgers loves to throw on the goal line. So I love Brees and I love Garrett Wilson in this situation. They get such big boosts. Did Keaton Mitchell have one good breakout game, or will he see more plays? He looked great last year from every efficiency metric I've seen. I mean, he looked amazing, but with Derrick Henry there plus the ACL tear, he tore it really late. So I don't think he'll be back until like week 12 beyond that. And with Derrick Henry there, I mean, what's the point really to like rush him back? You know, I don't think they have any intent to do that. So I don't think we'll see very much Mitchell until maybe playoff time. I would not draft him. Where's he going? I know he's far back, but okay, yeah, so he's an 18th round pick. If you really want to take a flyer there, I'm fine with it, but there's studies done in best ball from some really smart guys in the industry like Mike Leone from Establish the Run, where he basically explains how if you don't have 18 active players in the final week of best ball, you're kind of at a big disadvantage. Like even though Keaton Mitchell like is a backup, probably won't do anything, it's important that he's actually active and like able to score points, because that's like a big difference in the expected value of your draft pick. Okay, so we're up on 2 picks. George Kittle, I already have a tight end, so I wouldn't need him, but I would love to get him, in other circumstances. We need more wide receivers. I want Lad McConkey, and it looks like Hopkins is gone. So I want Lad McConkey. I'm fine with Brian Thomas. I'm a little nervous with Addison because he's probably getting suspended. I just explained how I'm not too fearful. Oh man, there goes Brian Thomas. I just explained how I'm not too fearful of Seattle. So maybe I like JSN. Never been like a massive JSN guy, especially last year. I didn't like love where he was going in the 60s. But with a new and improved offense, I don't hate it. I really don't. Running backs here, I'm not. Damn. I really wanted Lad McConkey. I really, really, really wanted him. I could go JSN or Jordan Addison for the stack with a Vikings quarterback later, but I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm going to go with JSN for now. I'm going to go with JSN for now. And I'm not going running back just because like we'll get buried in the wide receiver avalanche. If I don't get a third and a fourth guy here, it's going to be really ugly. Like you guys want to see the next tier of wide receivers like Khalil Shakir, Dobbs, Shaheed, Palmer. I like Lockett, but all these other guys, let me stay away from them. I don't want to get caught in that. So I want to have like at least like 5 pretty good wide receivers that I can trust. Like I have 2 great ones, and I have like a upside-ish pick with JSN. Yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. Would you prefer Garrett over Jefferson and Amon-Ra? I prefer Garrett over Amon-Ra, but not Jefferson. Jefferson I projected at 22.3 points per game. I got Amon-Ra at 18.8, I believe, and then Garrett's at 20 points per game. Nice. I've been watching your shorts religiously since last season. Very cool. I happened to catch your very first live. Yeah, dude, I was like feeling it. I'm like, why not? Let's just see how the YouTube live goes. I usually do these on TikTok, and I'll probably keep doing it on TikTok too. But I just want to see like what it's like on YouTube because I can actually like show the screen nicely and everything on here. So it's cool to draft with you guys. Makes sense with Henry at the Ravens, yeah. But yeah, guys. Oh shit, we're on the clock. Oh no, they took all my wide receivers. This is what I mean. You get buried at wide receiver, and honestly, none of these wide receivers I like. So I think we might go Montgomery. No, we're going to go Kamara. I don't have any Kamara shares. I don't have like any Kamara shares. And I didn't like him coming into this year, but when I projected him out, I still had him at like 15.1 points per game. Well, that's in full PPR. This is a half PPR site, but he caught so many balls last year. I know he's inefficient. He's a bad goal line threat at this point in his career because that offensive line is so bad. Derek Carr's so bad. They won't get many scoring opportunities, but man, he almost led the league in receiving receptions, and he missed like the first 4 games. So, yeah. W stream, appreciate it, Juan. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys like this, just let me know, and I'll keep trying to do these. Especially since I won't be cranking out as many videos. I've been doing daily videos, as you guys know, but I can't really keep that up because I'll be going on vacation. But I enjoy the live stream aspect just because you talk more candidly. You can talk about more topics that you don't usually get hit on. So ask me any fantasy questions or any real life questions in the chat about football. I don't care. Whatever you guys want, I'll try to answer them. So in here, the way I like to structure my teams by this point, I would rather have, instead of a second running back, I would rather have a 4th receiver. I'd rather have like a Lad McConkey, D-Hop, Brian Thomas, something like that. Or I'd rather not take JT and have had Waddle, maybe, something like that. Because as you guys can see, the wide receivers are just awful. Like, awful at this point. So I'm behind the curve. I need to hammer wide receiver. But on the bright side, quarterback, tight end stack, and our running backs are better than most people. So we do have advantages on this team. The other advantage of not drafting running back so early is you get Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, James Conner, Raheem Mostert, all these guys in this tier that I absolutely love and I think could all finish like top 15 to maybe even top 10 pretty easily. I have like James Conner as my 12th best running back this year, over 15 points per game. Last year when Kyler was on the field, he had like 5 20-point games in a row to end the season. Now the offense should be much better with Trey McBride at full steam and Marvin Harrison there and Kyler not missing half the year. There's like real 12-plus touchdown upside there. So I love the running backs in this area. They have huge upside compared to the wide receivers in this area. Like I don't see Rashid Shaheed taking over this wide receiver room and just balling out in a crap offense. I don't see it. Curtis Samuel, no. Like, we know what he is at this point. He could be a good slot receiver maybe, but yeah. You should do some lives during the season. Yes, I'll do start-sit advice. I'll do, like, picks before games for, like, higher lowers and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I do a lot of lives before streams on TikTok. I've just never done it on here, but I could definitely try. Got to grow the live community on here. I got to consistently do it, get a bunch of people in here, keep going actively. And yeah, so we're up in 3 picks. See, this is the problem. This is the exact problem. All these running backs look beautiful to me, but I don't need running back. I don't need it. So this is so tough. Let's go look at the draft. Look how much orange there is. Every team knows what they're doing. This guy's got 4 wide receivers. This guy's got 4. This guy's got 5. Me with, oh my god, 3 wide receivers is so bad up to this point. I look like a casual right now. This guy's got 3 as well. This guy's got 6. Wow. Okay, we're up in 2 picks. At least the running backs are going. I want Lockett. Hopefully I don't just get sniped by Blaze right here, but I want Lockett. He only has 3 wide receivers, so I could see him taking Lockett. I think I guess Cooks would be the next. Oh, okay. And the good thing, guys, with Lockett is I have JSN, so we can get Geno Smith later in the draft, and his bye week is 10 compared to Mark Andrews 14, so our quarterbacks will be fine together. Yep, we're doing that. If I have Geno and Lamar, I'm perfectly fine. The bye weeks work out. I usually, if I have a top-end quarterback like Lamar, I'll just do one more quarterback. If my first quarterback is like Matthew Stafford, then maybe I'll tack on like Drake May and Geno. You know, three quarterbacks, so I have a little bit more upside there. But when you have Lamar Jackson, you pay up at that position, the fourth round pick. You kind of want to go 2 quarterback, just because if you draft a third, like when is Derek Carr ever going to score for you? You know, if you already have Lamar, so. Just something to think about. Same thing at tight end. Since I have Mark Andrews, I'm probably only going to draft one more tight end. Depends how bad it is, though. If my second tight end is like Noah Fant, then maybe I'll draft a third, but probably not. I like to push the boundaries of those. Do you have a cheat sheet? I'm going to make one. Yeah, I'm going to make one. I have my projections done for a lot of positions, but I have not come out with like my official draft guide yet. That will be coming out soon. I got to figure out how I want to do it, though, how I want to give it away. Okay, so here, normally I love Raheem Mostert. Maybe I should go Raheem Mostert here. Okay, so Zamir White goes. I love Raheem. What wide receivers here? Brandon Cooks is pretty good. I think I'm going to push the boundaries and go Raheem Mostert and then like really, I might stop at 4 running backs. I'm not even kidding. This might be a 4 running back team. So out of my 18 picks, I might have 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, 4 running backs, which would mean I have 10 wide receivers, which I'm not going to do because I know the data behind it, and if you have more than 8 wide receivers, your expected value goes down a lot. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll go 3 tight ends then, and maybe 5 running backs, and stop at 8 wide receivers, or maybe I go 9 wide receivers. Maybe I do push the luck, but this 3 right here, Lamar, and then JT, Kamara, Mostert, Jefferson Kupp. I like this. I like this start. It's very correlated, which is what you want in these types of drafts. You want stacking, and that's what we're doing. Maybe I'll get Bateman later. Where do you announce your schedule when you plan to go live? I'll be there every time as long as I know well in advance. You know, I haven't even thought about it. I actually don't know. I have no idea. I should probably I should schedule it maybe. I haven't even learned how to schedule it on YouTube yet, but I'll schedule when to do it, okay? So you guys will see like a couple hours in advance when I'm going to go live. Because, yeah, this was completely last minute and you guys had no time to like care, you know? Let me know when the cheat sheet comes out. I got you, man. What teams do we like here? CMC, Evans, DK, Mahomes, Hollywood, Addison, Walker, Swift, Zach. Not a fan. This wide receiver group is weak. Evans, DK, Hollywood, and Addison, that's pretty weak. Because Addison might be suspended. Who knows if Hollywood's actually like a wide receiver 1. Top 2 I like, but this is what I mean. When you draft a running back so early, it really hurts the rest of your team. Whose team is my favorite? This team, let's check out the crazy team where it goes Debo, Aiyuk, Laporta, Pittman, Rice, Hopkins. Whoa. Warren, Jameson, Purdy, Spears. I hate that team. And this dude, when they have a badge like this, that means they draft like a ton. Oh, I got a badge. Let's go. When they have a badge like that, it means they draft a ton. So maybe this guy is just at the point where, you know, it's only a $5 draft. He's just trying to get wacky, but like, Debo at pick 12, why? Like, that's strictly for uniqueness. There's no reason to do that. He basically just lost a first-round pick because there are plenty of teams. Let me tell you, there are plenty of teams with Aiyuk in the second round and Debo in the third round, and then instead of Laporta, they have a first-round pick. They have like Wilson or something like that. Yeah. What else we got here? We are up on the clock in 2 more picks, and we need wide receiver as usual. Let's just see. So we want Geno, obviously. We want a tight end. We can wait for a while and get Fant because that correlates with our Seattle stack. At this point, I like Wicks. I'm okay with Judy. I'm okay with Polk. I like Polk a lot, actually, and that also opens the door, I believe. When is the bye week for the... Oh, no. The bye week for the Patriots is the 14th. So I cannot get May with Lamar. I'd have to have a third quarterback there, which kind of makes sense. Okay, Wicks goes and Cooks goes. Damn. Okay. So Judy opens up a backdoor stack with, I think I should probably do Judy. I'm going to do Judy. I don't love Judy, and I've only drafted him like 3 times out of my 70 drafts so far, but if he is going to be the starting slot receiver for the Browns, I don't mind it. It opens up the opportunity if Geno gets sniped or something happens where we will have a chance at Deshaun Watson. They go in the same area, so I like Deshaun too. Like, Deshaun has a good amount of rushing upside, and he hasn't been good, so his when I think of like upside cases in the last round, or last couple rounds, like Deshaun really sticks out. Like I think Geno has some upside, but I don't think Baker has real upside. I do think Will Levison may have upside, but the problem with May is he may miss half the year. I'm not sold on Bryce Young's upside, but maybe David Canales. Dave Canales comes in and really works on him, just like he did with Geno and Baker. Derek Carr, no upside. Bo Nix, probably no upside. McCarthy does. Wilson, I don't think has upside. So just kind of my thoughts here is I think Deshaun is like one that really sticks out. Where if the rushing upside hits, that could be big. Okay, we're up on the clock in another pick here. I'm thinking. So far, the team is Lamar stacked up with Mark Andrews. Our wide receivers are Jefferson, Kupp, Jackson Smith, Jigba, Lockett, Judy. Okay, let me just pick a pick real quick. I don't mind Mike Williams. I might just go Polk. I like Polk a lot, but we won't be able to stack with him, but that's fine. We need to shoot for some upside here. He's the clear path for the number 1 role, is the little snippet next to his name there, and I do believe it. Like, I have him in my dynasty team along with Javon Baker and Drake May. I'm in like a $250 buy-in league each year, and it's super fun, and that's one of the young stacks I have right now. I should show you guys my dynasty league team now I'm thinking about it. Let's see if I can... Here's my team, guys. Let's see. Can you guys see this? Is it? Yeah. So I have Tua, Breece Hall is a dynasty league. Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Tank Dell, Waddle, Andrews, Kittle, Matt Stafford, Drake May, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Raheem Mostert, Nick Chubb, Singletary, Robinson, Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Jahan Dotson, Jalen Polk, Troy Franklin, Javon Baker, and I got like 2 firsts and a whole lot of seconds and thirds. Okay, your boy's looking pretty stacked on the dynasty team. Just had to flex that real quick. Anyone else in here in any types of dynasty leagues? What's the rating on that team? We'll go back to the board here and show you guys some of the teams. So this is the team. We got Jefferson, Taylor, Kupp, Andrews, Lamar, JSN, Kamara, Lockett, Mostert, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Polk. Couple more rounds to go here. My favorite other team so far, I would say, maybe this team's okay. This third team, I'm too high for this. Tyreek Waddle, and he got Tua, so we got the stack. I like that. Then he's got Neighbors for some upside. Etienne, Keenan, Deontay, Evan Ingram. Not the biggest fan of Evan Ingram, but he has Trevor Lawrence, so he got the stack. James Conner and Zamir White. Good little kind of 0 RB, like hero RB with Etienne team. I think that would probably be my second favorite. So far with our team, I do like it, but obviously our wide receivers are a little weak. But maybe I do go 9. I don't know. We'll see. If I can get enough upside with them, maybe I'll go. I love Nick Chubb, how he's going this far now, like down draft boards. I really love Nick Chubb this year. I know he's going to miss a lot of time, which isn't great, but yeah. Not opposed to drafting some Nick Chubb. What other thoughts do you guys have on fantasy this year? What teams, guys? Everyone comment their number 1 team they want to see Aiyuk go to. It doesn't have to be the most like favored team, like the Commanders or whatever. What team do you want to see him play on? I think my number 1 team is the Patriots, just to give Drake May that like true number 1 threat. That'd be so fun to see. The Cardinals would be really, really fun too. Even the Chargers. But I think the Patriots with Drake May, like that would shape and change his entire career. From going from rookies and scrubs to a Lamborghini, as Aiyuk calls himself. Like, that'd be pretty great. All right, we're up at a pick. I don't mind Chubb, but we still need wide receiver. I don't mind Pearsall. I don't mind him. He's starting out on the list that's not the injured list, but the non-football injury list, basically. I don't know what it is, undisclosed, but yeah, he's not starting, I guess, just yet in camp. So I have Chubb, Eckler optionality here. I might go with Chubb. Okay, Chubb with the first pick there. Our running backs are so stacked. Like, this gives us a nice buoy for early season production with JT, Kamara, and Raheem, and then the late season hammer with Nick Chubb when he's fully healthy for the fantasy playoffs, dropping 20 a game will completely save us. So I'm eyeing up a receiver for sure on this next pick. Maybe tight end. Maybe I can go Hawkinson. That's really pushing my luck. I'd almost have to go third tight end there, though, just because Mark Andrews and Hawkinson probably missing like half the season at least. Bills or Chargers, yeah, those are both in my top 5 as well. And both are going to be run heavy if they don't get him. So it's interesting. Like, how run heavy can those two teams be when their quarterbacks are that awesome? You know, it's very tough to have Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and want to run the ball 20 or 30 times a game. Like, that's tough, you know? But it seems like what the offenses want to do. Josh Allen, on the other hand, will just be able to run for his own touchdowns, but Herbert won't. That's why Herbert's kind of trash in fantasy this year for now. I still like drafting him late. He's going too late, in my opinion. So Stafford's going to go soon. That would give us the second stack with Kupp. I'm going to pass on that and hope for our Geno stack. So we're up in a pick here. I'm going to pass on that, and I'm going to get Ricky Pearsall if we can in this spot. Demario Douglas is not bad either. If we didn't have Lamar and I could take Drake May, I would take Demario Douglas just so we had 2 Patriots wide receivers, and then I could take May. But May and Lamar have the same bye week, and I don't want to draft a third quarterback. So I'm going to avoid that. When does Geno go? He goes at pick 167. Okay, so we do have time. I'm going to go Pearsall here. So with Pearsall, I don't think he's a one-for-one replacement for Aiyuk at all. He's more of a slot receiver, which is tough because Debo is also a slot receiver. So it might be like Jawan Jennings or the other rookie, Counting, I believe his name is. Crowning, something like that. He's more of a downfield player. So I don't think Pearsall is going to really get like that much of a boost by Aiyuk leaving. But maybe they do a lot more like 2 slot receiver type of formations and stuff like that. Like it'll be a little tough, but he gets a boost in playing time with no Aiyuk, but it's not like he's going to be the guy running downfield reps because that's just not who he is. I love Thielen, obviously. He was my most drafted player last year. Him and Mostert were in that smashed. And now he's going super late again, and especially with that upgrade with Bryce Young and the coaching. I really like that. Okay. What else we got here? So Lamar, four running backs, 7 receivers, and a tight end. I should probably look at that second tight end. Fant's going to go soon. If I ideally could, I'd probably get Geno and Fant in my next 2 picks, but I don't know if I want Fant. Do I? I would rather have Hunter Henry, to be honest. I would. I think he's a better option. He hasn't been amazing over the past 2 years, but with no Mike Gesicki and a huge upgrade in the offense with the quarterback, could see a good amount of red zone work. Could play like 70% of snaps, and there's very rare for any tight end this low to play that much. Cade Otton's probably somebody who could maybe play that much. Let me see how much Cade Otton played last year, actually. Yeah, oh my God. He played every single game over 90% of snaps, every single game. That's huge. That is very rare for a tight end. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but that's pretty big. 93 points in the season. Let me see what the Jets were, because I want to see what Tyler Conklin's snap count was. New York Jets. Tyler Conklin played, yeah. See, okay, this is a lot more normal. Some 80s, some 70s, some 60s, and some 50s. I would say he averaged about 70, though. Okay. Not the worst options here. What about Henry? Henry. So with competition there, he played about, okay, that's pretty sizable actually. Some games are 55-ish%, but I'd say average about like 74% maybe. This year, if you can take the step to 85%, that's kind of big. That is kind of big. Pearson on non-football related injury, yeah. But he should be good for the season, but it's not good when a rookie misses camp, obviously. Jaleel could be a good pick. Yeah, I don't mind him. We do have a lot of running back firepower there, so I'm not going to pick a running back at this pick. Yo, what's up? What's up, Paluxy? How's it going, man? Not good. Pearson missing important reps with this one. Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. Especially with Aiyuk in the trade rumors, like Pearson could really be making a name for himself in camp. And I know he already had a little bit of a connection with Brock Purdy. I used to have Pearson on my dynasty team, but I made a trade with him a little while ago. Ended up getting Brees. So I love Pearson, but yeah, it's very important to get the reps in early. in training camp. That's why I'm a little bit worried when like Worthy was missing with the hamstring stuff like that. It does matter a ton if rookies or like in players in general. Like we saw Josh Jacobs last year miss most of camp because of the contract negotiations. He did not look the same at all. Granted, the team was much worse. Okay, so we have Geno, with Hunter Henry. I'm just going to go Geno right now because we have Hunter Henry or Fant or Conklin. We have a lot of options, but I know I want Geno. We also have Deshaun. We have some optionality here. I'm going to go Geno just because with our team, with JSN and Tyler Lockett, it's just like such a big boost in correlation for us where when Seattle does have those big weeks, we're going to be swimming in the money. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to rock with there. I have the 10th pick in a 12-man per league, PPR league. Likely going to take a wide receiver the first. Should I go for RB2? Okay, so in the second round, should you go for wide receiver or running back when you already start with a wide receiver? So hopefully you can get Garrett Wilson there. That's probably where he's going to go, or A.J. Brown or Puka. It's going to be one of them. In order, I would go Garrett, then A.J. Brown, then Puka. And I would try to get, if you can, Marvin Harrison in the second. If you can't, first option would be JT. Then Gibbs, then Marvin Harrison probably. And like one of those three would be the pick. If it's not Marvin Harrison, I wouldn't go for Olave. I wouldn't go for London because those are the normal like ADP picks in that range. I'd probably go Garrett and Marvin, AJ Brown and JT, like one of those combos. Maybe even Saquon if you want him. I don't mind any of those running backs, but I wouldn't reach for like Kyron if he's there or something like that. Kamani Vidal is a late season sledgehammer. Boy led college in yards and touchdowns. Guy runs like Barry 4.3 40. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty unfamiliar with this game, and I have like no shares of him because I've been taking J.K. Dobbins instead. Let me just make this pick real quick. Okay, so Fant's an option here. I should probably just do it, right? It's so cheap, just onslaught Seattle. I could also go triple quarterback, but I'm going to go with Fant here. I'm going to go Fant. So now we have Fant, the two wide receivers in Seattle, and Geno. Looking nice, boys. Kamani Vidal, is he still... He's not up. Yeah, I just been going J.K. Dobbins. I know it's pretty... He's going to pick 175. It's a pretty free pick for Dobbins, and I think he's much more talented than Gus is. So I think he has like a chance to burst onto the scene, but, you know, it's not... It's going to be run-heavy offense, and they should score a decent amount, so I don't mind it taking the risk on Vidal. And if you think he's that good of a prospect, by all means. I just haven't done enough research on him, to be completely honest. Let's look at him. Let's look at his metrics here. Okay, well, he did not run a 4.3 like you said. He ran a 4.46. 5'8", 213, kind of a bowling ball build. Pretty speedy, agile. His comp is Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. 6th round rookie though. Obviously not the best. Little bit old. Not crazy old. Okay. Let's see his statistics. Yeah, 60. Oh my god. Okay, so he had like almost 1,900 yards and doesn't say how many receiving total touchdowns was 15. Yeah, that's clearly Duke and ball. Get back to the draft. J.K. Dobbins played 9 games in 4 years. Yeah, I don't like him. Like, I've never been like a J.K. Dobbins guy, but he is fairly talented. And like out of the 3 backs, I feel like he's the one at the most upside. Maybe you think Vidal is, but Vidal is going like the 130s, I believe now. So he's a little pricier than Dobbins by a good amount. Like in the 130s, I can still get like Polk and some stuff that I really believe in. Now, when we get to this point in the draft, I mean, we're looking at Malachi Corley. And, like, you know, like J.K. Dobbins kind of sticks out here. I like Khalil Herbert, though. I like Clyde. I like Baker. But J.K. sticks out in this range to me. I think I'll go with a... Do I push my luck, guys? Do I just go 4 running back? And... The mathematical side of this says go 5 running back and go 8 wide receiver. That's what you should do. And go 3 tight end here. And especially with Chubb missing early season production, maybe I will. It's just my running backs are kind of loaded. I'll probably go the 5th running back, and then I'll have my two quarterbacks. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. I'll try to get another one. The wide receivers is pretty weak, though. I would not mind having 9. You know, it's only a $5 draft. I'm usually drafting my Basketball Mania teams. I just, for the first live stream, just didn't want to have any hiccups, so I did a puppy. I'm going to do it. If I can, I'm going to try to do 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 9 receivers, and 3 tight ends. That's my goal. Gibbs or Jonathan Taylor. I lean Jonathan Taylor. He's projected higher for me. I got JT at 17 points per game. Gibbs at 16.5. The difference is Gibbs has more upside in the way that, like, if Montgomery goes down, he could ball out. But from like the 70th percentile outcome, the 50th to 70th, I think that JT is just clearly going to get a lot more work and will be very efficient and will be heavily used in the red zone. Even though they have Anthony Richardson, I don't think they're going to throw the ball very much at all because the receiving threats that they have and the way that Anthony Richardson operates. Ooh, look at J.K. Dobbins. Look at J.K. Dobbins. So either him or Clyde. Clyde is nice. Okay, what about tight ends? We're gonna go JK. We were just talking about it. We're gonna go JK. So that's the fifth running back. Gives me some more upside ish. He probably won't start many weeks because obviously he's injured and he's probably second back on the depth chart. But there is that late season ish upside. Okay, so tight ends. I like Zach Ertz weirdly enough as a really late tight end just because I could go likely as like. No. I'm not gonna go likely. If likely hits, it's because Mark Andrews got hurt, which means my 5th round pick is a waste. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Even though it correlates with Andrews, it's just not the right move here. If you get Dobbins and Vidal, you're locked in on a run first team, right? But Gus Edwards obviously could just walk in for like 10 touchdowns, and I wouldn't be surprised, which would kind of suck. Okay, I gotta think about this. Who am I picking here? Devontae Walker. Okay. Okay, there goes our correlation. Unfortunate. I thought we were gonna get a Lamar stack there. Okay, so wide receiver. I don't mind Darius Slayton. He's kind of whatever. Like he doesn't add anything to his team, but at least get a deep threat that can maybe get like a 80-yard touchdown in a week and make the lineup. Daniel Jones is actually a fairly decent deep ball passer. The offense is going to be improved since last year, but it's not going to be great. But I think Darius Slayton is definitely a top 3 wide receiver on that team that should be mainly used just running downfield. I don't think Hyatt's going to be the starter over him. All right. We are on our last pick. We just need one more tight end, I think. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide receivers, and then we're 2, 5, 8, 3 build is what I'm thinking. Or guys, what would you take here if you have Mark Andrews and Noah Fant correlated with our 2 quarterbacks in Lamar and Geno? Our running backs are fine. Would you go with a 9th wide receiver, or would you go with a 3rd tight end? The math says the 3rd tight end is smarter, and I think I'd agree with that, especially in the playoff weeks where like we could just score like, have a random. What was a good? I guess like Zach Ertz or something, like a 5 for 40 in a touchdown game, like that could give us enough points to get by, kind of thing. Whereas the 9th receiver is probably not going to do it for me. I'm thinking the tight end. Let me know what you guys think. If you were in an 8-man snake draft. What picks would you want the most and least? Every year, the math says the top, like the higher the pick, the better. 8-man's a little more fair, just because I think that like the Puka tier with Gibbs and everything is like significantly worse than like Jefferson and all those guys. The higher the pick, the better. That's how the math ends up each year, basically, from an expected value standpoint. So, yeah, I'd want the 1-on-1, especially in a league like that where you prioritize quarterback and tight end more too. Just because like they're not more scarce, but like having Josh Allen like really sets you apart there because everyone's gonna have good receivers and running backs in that league. Okay, last pick. I think I'm gonna go tight end. Oh, what's up, Andrew? How's it going, man? First YouTube stream. Finally had to do it. Had to see what the hype's about. I've been liking a little bit of Danny Dimes here. Danny Dimes is expected to be healthy for training camp. I like the rushing upside. I made a trade. I just showed you guys my dynasty team. I made a trade today for Daniel Jones. I gave up Derek Carr straight up for Danny Dimes. It's like a 6-year age difference, and Daniel Jones has rushing upside, so I kind of like it. I think they are trying to build around him this year. When you're watching Hard Knocks, they're really making it a point to be like, okay, this O-line needs to be better, and they obviously got Neighbors, so I think there's a little bit of a chance, and I think that the coaching is good. I think I like Brian Dable, so I have a little bit of faith in Daniel Jones. The problem is, in best ball, he may be completely useless in the playoffs because if the Giants are not contenders, they may just bench him to see what else they got in the team. So, especially if he sucks. But I guess if he sucks anyways, you weren't going to win the playoffs. So, go tight end. That's what I'm thinking. Keeper league, PPR, Tank Dell, 8th, or Zamir White, 12th. Pick one. Tank Dell in the 8th or Zamir White the 12th. I obviously love Tank Dell, and I'm not a big Zamir fan. So, and the difference in rounds, because Tank's going in like round 5, so the 3-round difference is more in my eyes than the 4-round difference from round 8 to 12. So I'll say Tank. I prefer him as a player, and the 3-round gap earlier in the draft is much more important than the 4-round gap later. Like the more the draft goes on, okay, we need a tight end. The more the draft goes on, the more the rounds don't matter anymore. I think. Oh, what? Somebody stole my freaking Ertz pick? Who does that? Who does that? Maybe Colby Parkinson's a shout here. Yeah, why not? With Tyler Higbee hurt, we have no idea about this guy. He's complete, just red flag. We have no idea about Colby Parkinson, but I don't mind it. So these are our tight ends. Colby, Fance, Andrews, Slayton, Pearsall, Polk, Judy, Lockett, JSN, Cup, Jefferson. A little weak on the wide receivers, but obviously at every other position we're stacked. Tight end we're stacked. Running back, JT, Kamara, Mostert, Chubb, Dobbins, and then Lamar and Geno. I don't hate this. One of my more correlated teams, which is nice. I would just rather start 3 wide receiver than go with JT normally. Like, I wouldn't mind if we had gone Waddle earlier. But is what it is. Like the team. Yeah, okay. Isaiah W. That's... Wait, what? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Frankie. Isaiah W. That's my same dilemma. In your full PPR leagues, would you go Marvin Harrison Jr. or Drake London? I would go Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure. I have him projected like 1.5 points per game more. All right, guys, that's going to be the stream for today just because I want to get a little stream, a little underdog draft. I'm going to start doing them more. I'm going to do a couple more before I leave for Spain in about a week. So I'll let you guys know beforehand when I'm going to stream. Like, I'm going to put up a thing on YouTube, I guess. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out, like set a little timer on it. For like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, something like that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate y'all being here, and I'll